Welcome to the PiG Daily, episode number 122. Another quick, lazy daily of mine where I run you through a little bit of a dirty build. Something a little bit aggressive that can catch your opponents off guard and sometimes even get you a completely free win. It is going to be Alive's one tank TvP Poke of Doom, which is the most ridiculous name for what is a kind of simple pressure, but it's also very surprising and has the potential to get out of control and in some cases, even completely win a game. So let's first of all just go straight into the example we saw where I found the build in the first place, which was, of course, the Olimo League. And of course, my screen capture doesn't work. So there we go. That one does. I always have my backup scenes these days. So I guess this is a live versus Billowy and Olimo League. This is from the Basetrade TV's YouTube channel. I'm going to show you guys just a few seconds of it. Big thanks to Basetrade, to of course Oli Moly for running the Olimo League and everyone who supports that through Patreon. And basically Alive here did a very standard gas first expand, Reaper, scouted with the Reaper. He saw it was a fast Robo and Twilight. Excuse me. And he just dropped a tech lab on the factory rather than going for Widow Mines, built a siege tank, a medevac, and he's walked across the map with 8 Marines, a tank. And he started building a bunker here at 4 minutes 20, incredibly early in the game. And I'll save you guys the excitement. Yes, he wins the game with 8 Marines and a siege tank. If you look at the production tab, you can see things like the Immortal and Blinker only halfway done, so they're not kicking in yet. Extra 3 gateways only going to be kicking in now. So it's just a 3-gate Protoss with a whole bunch of Stalkers. And if you've ever seen Stalkers take siege tank shots, well, if you haven't seen it, you're about to see it, as you saw there. They just disappear, man. And once bunkers get up, obviously it becomes so frightening to try and break through this sort of thing. The Mothership Core has a lot of energy, but because there were no pylons at the front, or only the one, and he was a bit slow to overcharge it, he was not able to buy enough time here. And you can see he's losing probes. He's already down 10 workers. Keep in mind, Alive is going up to like 5 barracks behind this. Like, he's got a factory and a starport. The only thing is missing is engineering bays. So Billowy's going to go in. He's going to try and break this push. And you're going to see those Stalkers just get shredded by those 2 siege tanks. Once 2 bunkers get up like that, it's just a bit, ooh. Stalkers, maybe not the unit you want for that as well. So he does have to tap on out. And yeah. GG. That's it. All right, guys. So this is mainly, of course, this show is mainly for, ooh, sorry, whoops. Oh, my display started working. Cool. It's for you Terran guys. So let's jump straight into game. And let's take a look at a replay. Now, this is me challenging the hardest opponent in the world. The very easy AI. Oh my god. So I actually put this up specifically using this replay just so I could do the opening perfectly with no distractions. Because if someone starts like harassing me with the depths and stuff, I'm gonna like freak out and screw stuff up. So I've already uploaded this onto Spawning Tool. I'm linking that in chat for you guys watching on YouTube. It is linked down below the stream. Sorry, by the way, my microphone is a little bit far away from my mouth, so hopefully that is okay. Just gonna link you guys that if I'm not completely useless and I can actually find it. Where is my link gone? Oh my god. There we go. Link is in chat. Finally found it. Yeah, guys, so let's walk you through the build. It is a standard gas first opening. No need to dilly-dally. Gas, barracks. Oh my. Gas into barracks. Really standard build. Now, because we want to be very efficient with this, often you'll skip the SCV scout and just go straight for command center after barracks. You start a Reaper. You then start a factory, a second gas, and then the reactor. So it's factory, second gas, reactor. Occasionally, I don't know, if you go for like an SCV scout, maybe you'll start the reactor slightly before the second gas, but it's very important to get that second gas down and everything before the second depot. Similar to a lot of TvP builds and a lot of just fast teching builds from Terran and Legacy of the Void. This kind of gas first build times out really well where you don't build that depot until 22 supply. So my Reaper is going to harass the very easy AI. Now, it's very important at about 2 minutes 50 is usually when you want to go through and scout the Protoss, and you want to see exactly what tech structures he's going for. So I'm going to do that a little bit late this game because I'm playing against an easy AI that's chasing me around with a Zealot. But that's very important because once you confirm what's going on, that gives you the information you need to say, oh, he's definitely going Robo Twilight. He's going for this very defensive style. He's not going for Oracle or anything like that. And that's when you want to do this opening. So you want to scout through, maybe even send your reprint at like 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 40. And you want to see, oh, he's gone Robo, or you see something which makes you think he's gone for a standard Robo Twilight opening. And you just immediately go, okay, Tech Lab on the factory, non-stop marine production, build a siege tank. Going to build a medevac out of that starport as soon as you hit 100 gas. And just continuing to build SCVs here. So remember, guys, this is a heavy pressure, a hard pressure, but you're still building your economy behind it. I might cut an SCV or two just to make sure I get over there as quickly as possible. But otherwise, for the most part, it's constant SCV production. And it's probably not even a full 2 SCVs. It's just a few seconds of SCV production here and there. So if you're not super high level, don't even bother with that. Just go ahead and constantly build workers and play it kind of like a standard macro build. And it should be nice. I just realized I don't have sound on, so sorry about that, guys. Here we go. I'll get sound on in time for the killing to happen, I guess. So you come across the map, you pick up your last 2 Marines and your siege tank, and bam, you're at your opponent's natural at 4 minutes 20. Terrible bunker positioning, by the way. I probably should be pushing from that side, because this kind of gives him the high ground advantage if my medevacs aren't spotting, and I can't squeeze a tank through there. So make sure you leave space for your tanks. And yeah, you can just kind of edge forward. You do rally a second siege tank across the map. You queue up a Liberator as well. This isn't like perfect execution. See, I'm kind of doing my add-ons. There we go. The Liberator does finally start up. Behind this, you're doing a normal transition. You've got Marines building out of the barracks. You've got 2 more barracks going down. So one of these barracks will go into the tech lab and start stim. The other barracks will either build a tech lab for itself, or maybe after the Liberator, the starport can build a tech lab, just depending on how you want to do it. Usually, the factory swaps off, it builds a reactor for itself, and at some point the starport, after this Liberator's done, will also go and build itself a reactor. So you can start medevac, Widow Mine, 3 barracks production. And then behind the pressure, you can go into a 3rd command center. You can go into just about whatever you want. Obviously, upgrades, engineering bays, 3rd command center, and then going for extra barracks are the main things that you want to be doing. And that's it. It's such a simple poke, but it can just kill your opponent. It can just absolutely destroy them. So we're going to talk about that. When do you do this? What's the best time to do this? Honestly, I think you can make this work as anyone. Like if you're not super high level, you can just kill people. If everyone's going like sort of Blink, you know, and Robo, this very standard Protoss opening, you'll find a lot of players are quite greedy. And as a result, you can punish them very hard with this. So we're going to look at a replay here. This is when, big shout out to Fighting Frog, by the way, down here. I was like, you know what? I need to practice against just weird Terran pushes and all sorts of tank pushes. Can you do some? And he was like, hey, what about this one? And he showed me this VOD. And I was like, what the hell is this push? I was like, this is ridiculous. A 1 tank bunker push off and expand. Like, what the hell? And I was really confused. And he showed me the VOD. And I was like, okay, I think I see how that works. We practiced a few games. And I hadn't really played Blink Robo for a long time. So my builds definitely weren't like crazy crisp or anything. But I had so much trouble holding on against this push. And you always feel when you hold it like, yeah, I held the push as Protoss. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so good at StarCraft. I'm ahead. And then you realize, like, no, this is not a 1-base push. Like, it feels like one of those 1-base all-ins because there's bunkers and tanks outside your base. And then the Terran just has a lot of economy. So keep an eye here. So he comes through with his Reaper. And he's going to try and spot what's up. So notice he's really hanging around. He screws up there. But he ends up just going for it anyway, because we were just practicing out. Let's imagine that Reaper came in now. 2 minutes 50. He sees that and goes, okay, let's do that. Okay, there's a Robo. Let's build a tech lab and that sort of stuff. And that would have been a little bit cleaner. This execution actually was a bit off by him. His factory's a little bit late. And the reason for this is because he went barracks gas as well. So this is not even perfectly executed. But you'll notice, you know, okay, I killed his Reaper, so my Adept Scouts, he kind of pokes in around. Let's just fast forward to the action. Actually, you know what? I'll put it on his camera. Here we go. I got some notes to read from. So important things. Okay. What's a good tell for high-level players to do this? So I've already mentioned that. You need to see a Robo and a Twilight usually, because then the Protoss is investing in Blink. Stalker's not that useful even once they have Blink against tanks and bunkers. And Blink won't be ready by the time your first bunker's finished. I don't think. Maybe if someone goes Twilight then Robo, it might be finished in time. It probably would be, actually, like the sort of build that like Rotterdam does. Best on short rush distance maps. That's a very important point, actually. So guys, side spawn Cactus. So when it's not cross map on Cactus Valley, Palladino, that last map we were looking at, fantastic maps. Belshire here, not bad either. So you can see here, guys, at this point, there actually probably should be another siege tank and a lot more Marines joining up. Because this is his first time doing it, he's a little bit sloppy. Didn't even get in the bunker. I managed to break that. And I remember feeling like, yeah, this build's not good. I just shut that down. And what I realized when I looked at the replay was, holy crap, he's at 41 SCVs to my 32. Now, he has chosen to go for a third command center before extra barracks. So it's a little bit of a greedy follow-up from him in terms of that command center. But nonetheless, his SCV count would still be way ahead of mine. And when you look at that in terms of income, you can see a massive advantage for him. So that's actually really huge. Just how big that Terran advantage is, right? It's sick. You can just get way ahead. So let's talk about why this works, guys. How the hell does this work? Should it work? First thing I did when I looked at this, because I was like, this is an odd build. Is this good? And I went and asked a bunch of pro gamer Protoss players. I was like, hey, check out this VOD. Here's the timestamp. What do you think? And they were just like, oh yeah, like Billowy's build is kind of off, man. His gateways are late. Also, they said, you know what, Overgrowth, I'm so happy that map isn't in the map pool anymore because the rush distance on that map is a friggin' nightmare, man. They're like, it's so short. Like on maps like that, I had 1 or 2 Protoss players say, I think maybe you can't even go Blink Robo safely on these maps. It's better just to go Robo into 3 gateways and defend that way. Because, you know, these attacks can hit you so fast, even the Widow Mine drops and like Liberators and everything can get to your base so early. You're just safer if you just have those gateways up earlier, your observers out, have a few more units, and then you go for your blink later on, or even just go for that very fast Colossus build, which you guys might be familiar with. So very important is to take advantage of if the Protoss player slips up at all. So what are some slip-ups, which are very common? Shut up, phone. That will allow the that will allow it to work. So Robo Twilight, this is pretty standard stuff, right? But the Protoss normally should drop their second and third gateway no later than about 3 minutes 30, because a gateway takes 46 seconds to build, and you need that finished by about 4 minutes 15 or about 4 minutes 10 when your warp gate research finishes. And that way, if you then transform immediately into warp gates, there'll be warp gates at 4 minutes 15. You can have your first warp in done at 4 minutes 20, just as this attack is kicking in, which means you can have at least 5 or 6 workers on top of the mothership core and any potential probes you pull. Now, my gateways weren't quite on time this game. They were just a little bit late, but even that slight mistake here can really cost me. Also, I'm actually kind of lucky this game. My observer, notice your observer does not get a lot of warning of this push coming. On some maps, like Overgrowth as well, you can actually just avoid the observer. You can actually just avoid the closest path. You can, you know, take a slight detour around a longer path. And if the Protoss doesn't see this coming, they're really usually just focusing on getting a third base at this time, dropping extra gas geysers. They're really not prepared for this. What else is this really good against? Well, with that new tank damage, if the Protoss just makes Stalkers early on and isn't able to just jump on top of that tank and like kill it, this siege tank just dishes out an insane amount of damage. So Protoss players defending this probably want to focus more on Adepts. They probably do want to use Overcharge to buy time, wait for 1 or 2 warp-ins and then overwhelm it. I think ideally Protoss would also deal with this without pulling probes. But this bunker here creates so much panic in Protoss players, so much eagerness to be like, oh, don't let the bunker get up, or, you know, this is going to be a nightmare to hold on against. And pulling probes there, 10 probes is actually a very nice bit of damage there. Killed, you know, a Stalker or 2 as well. We look at the unit's loss tab. It does look worse for Terran, but worker kills are so damn valuable. So this is fantastic against someone who overbuilds Stalkers. This is fantastic against someone who doesn't necessarily scout it until it's at their base. This is fantastic against someone going a Robo Twilight where their gates are even a few seconds late. Things can spiral out of control. We saw in that initial Alive game, Alive got 2 bunkers up, 2 siege tanks. Billowy was just screwed. Billowy pretty much only had Stalkers at first. Didn't really buy as much time with Overcharge as he probably should have. And everything fell apart very quickly. So if you guys have any questions, do shout them out. I will probably answer them off stream though, because I don't think there's any other points with this. It's a nice quick daily. It's a quick topic because it's just a very cute push. It's sexy. It's beautiful. It'll give you some easy wins. And yeah, Just another one to go in your pocket, especially for Paladino, tiniest rush distance in the world. Enjoy that one, guys. Yeah, let me check chat very quickly, see if anyone had any super insightful, like, but I don't know what question you could possibly ask about this, since it's literally just build 8 Marines and take in a medevac and build a bunker at their base. Awesome. Yeah, looks good. Looks good, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. I will be back with a lot more dailies in the